What's going on, guys? It's FC, and today I'm bringing you guys another episode of my tips and tricks. Today's weapon really needs no introduction. It is probably the most popular gun in the world. If you've never heard of it, you've probably never even seen a gun in your life. It's the AK-47. Stats are going to come up on the screen any second now. Here you go, and let's take a look at them. So it's got a 40-30 damage, meaning it's a 3-shot up close, 4-shot at a distance. Recoil says it's a 60-60, 60-30. I don't believe that's a good representation of the recoil of the weapon. I believe it should be more of a 60-60 split, meaning 60 up, 60 down, because this weapon feels like it just recoils up and down. AK-47 has been around for a while now in the COD series. This is the third installment where the AK-47 has been found. The first time you saw this was in Call of Duty 4, then we saw it again in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, and now we're seeing it in Black Ops. The gun has been pretty consistent the whole 3 games in regards to like the recoil. Recoil in all 3 games has been pretty much straight up and down. The cool thing about the AK-47 that a lot of people don't notice, or they might notice, is that it resets itself almost to the exact point of where you're aiming every time the recoil comes back down. So every time it kicks it up, by the time it comes back down, it's pretty much in the same spot that you were aiming before it started recoiling, making it pretty accurate. Actually, it's not too bad considering the amount of kick that it has, but again, the accuracy really doesn't suffer because of it. So that's something that I like about the AK-47, and it makes it one of my favorite weapons out of all the Call of Duties. I always have an AK-47 class when it's available to me. I just feel like it's the gun that I can use that kind of fits my style. Although it's an assault rifle, you can use it like for rushing. Usually for rushing, you want to keep it to the submachine guns. You know, the also popular 74U would be something that most rushers would use, but AK-47 can fill that role pretty nicely if you know how to use it and know how to, if you know its recoil and stuff like that. So because of that, I think it's a very, very good weapon. So let's take a look at some of the perks and setups that I personally use. For me, I like using the AK-47 with the dual mags. I run it with hardline, sleight of hand, and the third perk can change. It could be ninja, hacker, tactical mask, whatever you really don't really want to run in that third perk slot. So it's really up to you, but I prefer hardline. You can use flak jacket. It really suits anything since it's an all-around good weapon. You don't really have to kind of give it any other support or anything like that with any of the other perks. So I like running hardline because I run a lot of team assist kill streaks, as I did in this video. As you see, I'm running the 3-4-8, but to me it was a 2-3-7 setup because I'm using the spy plane, counter spy plane, and Blackbird or SR-71. So with the dual mags, you really don't need any type of scavenger or anything like that. You have a sufficient amount of ammo, and since the weapon is so powerful, you can drop enemies pretty quick, meaning that you can conserve ammo that way. It's not going to take a lot of bullets to take people down, so you can conserve ammo and not have to use something like scavenger or anything like that. So just running the dual mags is sufficient enough ammo for you to go out your whole match without having to really worry about picking up another gun or anything like that. So let's talk about a little bit of the characteristics of the weapon. At first, when Black Ops came out and people started using the iron sights, a lot of people were complaining about them because they did change them a little bit from the old style that we were used to from Call of Duty 4 and Modern Warfare 2. Reason being is this incarnation of the AK-47, I'm sorry, Jesus, was an older style incarnation of it. So we didn't get to see a... Watch me fail real quick. Hold on. Yeah, I thought there was something underneath me, but I just failed. But it's an older incarnation of the AK-47. So the iron sights are a little bit different. Are they to the point where you need a sight? No. And that's one of my first pet peeves that I kind of have with the AK-47. I do not like running a sight on this weapon. It's just because I'm used to it from previous CODs, but in reality I've always kind of liked the iron sights built into the AK-47. They're very forgiving. Once you get used to these new ones, which are not very different from the old ones, it's just as easy as the previous COD. iron sights for the AK-47, and reality, it's just a wasted attachment if you do run some sort of a sight. Now, some people really do love running their sights on the AKs, and that's fine. Whatever is comfortable for you is best. But to me, my personal preference, it just doesn't make sense to run it, because I believe the iron sights are just so much, you know, better than some of the other ones in the game. Another thing, I'm a big advocate of burst firing weapons in Black Ops, but this is one of the only weapons you can actually get away with burst firing even at medium range. I don't know if it's just me because I'm so used to the recoil already from previous Call of Duties, but I can get away with not burst firing the weapon and pretty much spraying at medium distance. Now, at longer distance, I am going to go ahead and burst fire the weapon just to get that little bit of extra accuracy that I might need to take somebody out. But it's not necessarily a necessity. Like, I would say a Galil, where at medium range I like to burst fire it just because I want to make sure that all my bullets are on target, and the recoil on something like the Galil is more randomized. I feel like I can control the medium range recoil on the AK-47 and spray with it and have much success with it. So if you are a previous user of the AK-47, I would not necessarily burst fire it at medium range. You could probably get away with using it at you know, spraying at medium range. Oh, another thing that I noticed, that even though it says it's the 3-shot kill for the AK, I'm sorry, it feels like it's just so much stronger than anything else. So I don't know if I'm the only one that feels that. I just feel like the weapon is much stronger than what it is. It's also a good headshot machine. The recoil that it uses makes the kick kind of go towards the head a lot, so you're gonna get a lot of headshots with it. And finally, let's do a final recap. Remember that the recoil is up and down. The iron sights are very, very, very forgiving, so you don't necessarily need a red dot or anything like that. And remember, burst firing is not always needed. You could probably get away with spraying at medium range. At longer range, you want to burst fire, guys, but you could probably get away at medium range. And my final score for this game was 36-8. We played a pretty bad team, guys, but I wanted to show you the effects of the AK-47 in its glory there. So don't forget to like the video, guys. If this helps you out, let me know, leave a comment, and till next time, later.